the news feed, I believe. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that.
That's right.
You and I'll have the opportunity to do that. So, again, for now, I just wanted to show.
And when he says tropical storm, Allison, 24 years ago.
Yeah, that's back in 2001.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's been a minute. But this was kind of the storm that set all the records for rainfall in the city of Houston. There was over 35 inches of rain in parts of Harris County, and it was a storm that lasted multiple days. For the Houston impact, it was basically excuse me, June 5th through about the 9th. So multiple days that this storm took. And look at the storm path. It came in from the south and just to the just around Galveston Island, it made its landfall. And then it circled up near about Lufkin in East Texas and then came back down. And that's when we're talking about on the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th is when it really dropped all of the rain for the Houston area and began to have so many different problems. We're going to talk more about that again on the news feed tonight at 10 p.m. on the Fox 26, as well as, of course, here on Fox Local. The storm continued to go on and created all kinds of problems. We're looking at very muggy conditions right now. The feels like temperature 95 degrees, even though the thermometers are reading 87 degrees. Partly cloudy skies. We had some of those brief downpours earlier, but the Fox Red Storm Seeker radar right now is really quiet. I thought we might have a little storm try to hang around a little bit longer, but really we just lost that energy that was out there. Now, I know we've had some storms, especially yesterday, but generally speaking, they've been very isolated. They hadn't been widespread, hadn't been severe. But this pattern that we're finding ourselves in right now, where this high pressure is kind of keeping the bulk of the rain away from us, it's going to change when we get into next week. So next week's forecast, when we look at the 7-day here in a minute, you'll notice looks quite a bit different than what we're seeing for the last several days. Here's the severe weather outlook for today. So West Texas continuing to see more and more storms form. They're going to continue to cause some more and more problems. The Saharan dust is on the way. That's what's going to be here this weekend. And the Futurecast, again, shows muggy conditions in the overnight hours. And pretty much tomorrow afternoon is going to be a lot like today. Isolated storms popping up across the area. The heat is here for the weekend, 97, 98 degrees. And then Tuesday through Friday is pretty much the rainy days next week.
I'm just not looking forward to that dust. That's going to be tough.
Yep, totally. It's going to be hot too.
Ugh, thanks, JD.
Yep.
All right, well, now we have some breaking news. An officer shot someone during a narcotics operation in Brazoria County. We want to get live to Sherman DeSalle, who is there collecting some information on what we know at this time. Sherman.
Yeah, as far as information, it's something that we're still gathering right now, Caroline. But I'll tell you, this started as more of an eviction warrant, and then it turned into a narcotics investigation before and shortly after this woman was reported to be shot in this location. We're off of the corner of Aljoa, let me see if I get this right. Aljoa and Doris Stinson Road over here in Precinct 1 of Brazoria County, a little bit past Alvin. So here's what we know so far. This started around 3 o'clock, and the deputies with Precinct 1 office and other agencies, they were trying to serve a search warrant for narcotics at a home near this corner at this dirt road right behind me. You can probably see some chopper video of the investigation right now. Well, while serving the search warrant, shots were fired, and it actually started as an eviction. But after investigating it, the office saw a felony warrant for narcotics to one elderly woman who was known to be in this residence. So when officers approached the home, at one point, a weapon was presented. We're not sure if the weapon presented was fired, but the woman was shot and sent to the hospital. This has now been investigated by the Texas Rangers. And as for the drugs found, we've been told that there was at least marijuana found with other possible narcotics. There's still a lot of information to gather here. And the thing is that when an officer-involved shooting happens here in Brazoria County, it automatically gets turned over to Texas Rangers for making sure that they have some, according to what the constable said, some integrity in the investigation to make sure that every I gets dotted and T gets crossed. So we're still waiting to hear further information, but so far this is what we know. And we've been told that it's pretty patchy back there. There's not a lot of property back there. And so it's a lot of questions that we have. We're still trying to figure that out. Caroline?
Legal for a convicted felon to own a firearm here in Texas under certain circumstances. I reported on a story the other day that brought this issue up, so I wanted to explain it. According to the Texas Penal Code, Section 4604, a convicted felon can own a firearm if 5 years has passed since the completion of their probation or their prison sentence for said felony, if that firearm is kept in their residence. So it's not like a convicted felon can walk around with a gun on their hip, but they can have one in their home if 5 years has gone by since the completion of their sentence.
Yeah, and I'm joined by Abigail Dye right now. You posted this social media video last night. It's getting some major reaction online. People just can't believe that a convicted felon here in Texas after 5 years can be a firearm holder.
Yes, it is. It was shocking to me when I heard about this. I didn't know that this was possible, but it is. You can own a firearm in your home as a convicted felon after 5 years of the completion of your probation or prison sentence here in Texas. And when I posted this reel, I got a whole lot of comments, people asking lots of different questions as to the restrictions around this. A big one was, how does a felon purchase a firearm here in Texas? And that's really nuanced. You cannot, under federal law, as a felon, purchase a firearm, and you cannot sell a firearm to a felon under federal law as well. So the workaround, I guess, if you would, for lack of a better term here, is buying from a private seller. And that's something that someone who is a convicted felon who meets these guidelines can do. Buying from a private seller, that is perfectly legal as long as the private seller doesn't have any reason to believe that you are a convicted felon who doesn't meet the requirements.
Yeah, a lot of comments on your post here on your Instagram. I mean, some I can't even read.
I know. Yeah, people have a lot of opinions
they do
about
have
it
a lot
as
of
well.
opinions, but I mean, somebody's Jay Baller says that I don't have an issue with it if people are truly reformed and trying to protect their family. But then you run into stories like you reported on recently where a convicted felon shot his neighbor.
Yes. So the convicted felon shot and killed his neighbor, and he was convicted of a felony about 10 years ago, and he had completed his sentence. There was a 5-year gap there. So he technically was allowed to own a firearm. And it gets a little bit hairy as to where, the firearm came from and everything like that. So you can still face charges depending on that. And to be clear, it's still federally illegal for a convicted felon to own a firearm. I see you nodding. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen that in the comments
that's
too.
Been popping up.
Yeah. People, they say that federal law trumps state law. That's not necessarily true. But the fact of the matter is, I spoke to a lawyer. It's not very likely that the feds are going to come and investigate someone in this exact circumstance for having a gun in their home if they're doing it under Texas law. Yeah. There's just not enough hands on deck in our federal government. They have a lot, bigger fish to fry. So unless you're violating federal laws on top of that, and there's a reason for the feds to have a search warrant of your home, it's probably not something you have to worry about.
All right. Abigail Dye, thank you for that update. All right, now we want to go to a day after a scary incident on a metro rail line. The agency's police chief is now speaking out, and he's actually asking for your help. We told you last night how some passengers were maced on a bus, and that incident came less than 2 weeks after a man shot and killed another passenger on a metro bus. Here's what the chief has to say to riders.
I do understand the concerns that made headlines in the last couple of weeks. But it is also important to remind everyone that we actually successfully carry out hundreds of thousands of rides every single day that was uneventful and most of the time without incident. I want to take this opportunity to thank the professionalism of our bus and rail operators, the staff, the supporting staff, and also the police officer day in and day out working out there to keep the community safe. Now, in responding to the incident that we just talked about, at least the incident that made headlines, I just want everyone to be mindful that we, the Metro and the Metro Police Department, cover over 1,300 square miles 4 counties, the city of Houston, including 14 additional cities surrounding Houston. How do we do this? We do this by continuously working to evaluate, process, and safety measure to keep our riders safe every single day. Let's make it clear, safety is and will continue to be our highest priority. We have been taking and continue to take clear strategic steps to strengthen the safety of our system. That include deploying additional resources, uniform, and sometime undercover officer in our system. So to the public out there are resources out there every single day. Some you may see and some you may not see, but they are out there. Because increasing presence helps. It helps deter crimes, it helps support faster response, and most importantly, it helps provide our riders and the operator a peace of mind that we have the resources to support out there to keep them safe. And for the first time for many years, as long as I can recount, and based on what the archival data provide to me, that we are at a position that we are fully staffed at the front line officer responding to calls, but we can always do more. However, we will and we continue to do more. We have developed additional focused deployment strategy, working in collaboration with our local partners, regional partners in this region, law enforcement partners, including but not limited to the Houston Police Department, perhaps DPS, Harris County, and all our precinct partners. And we are in position to work with our additional partners in the medical center and also outside agency within these areas that have a direct nexus, a connection to our system. By doing all of this, it helps. But the most important thing is I want to remind our riders, when you do see something, please say something, leverage our comment box, and leverage our reporting process to let us know, because you are the closest contact to the problems and stuff that we need to resolve. And collaboratively, we can work together to make our system safer.
All right, now to our Diddy debrief. Another accuser, Brianna Bongolan, was back on the witness stand this morning. She claims that Sean Diddy Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony in Los Angeles, then shoved her into furniture. Combs' attorney hit Bongolan with some relentless cross-examinations, getting her to admit that after the alleged balcony incident, she sat and smoked a blunt with Diddy, and claimed that Diddy was not in Los Angeles when the balcony incident happened. However, she produced what appeared to be a hotel receipt for a 5-day stay when the incident occurred. We'll be right back. All right, everybody seems to be talking about this. So are you up to speed on the President Donald Trump versus Elon Musk drama all playing out on X? Well, if you're not, we're going to catch you up on that. After Elon's stint with Doge has ended, he started calling out President Trump, okay? Big time online today. He was criticizing the big, beautiful bill. Elon said it is full of disgusting pork. President Trump then fires back and says that he was going to stop giving Elon's companies government subsidies. Then Musk said that he was going to decommission a spacecraft used by NASA. Musk also claimed that President Trump is in the Epstein files. The drama just gets crazier, crazier, and crazier. This is why I brought in one of our producers, Faith Braverman. She's kind of going to break down some of these tweets, aka read the ridiculous things that are being blasted on the internet by the leader of the free world and one of the richest men in the world who were besties, who are now feuding.
I know, we have the receipts. So, yeah, President Trump posted on Truth Social, "I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase, and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. All caps, make America great again."
Of course, all caps.
All caps. He loves the all caps. And then the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. And then he went on to say, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went, all caps, crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then here's Elon Musk's now infamous tweet. "Time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT."
Yikes.
Big yikes.
Yikes. I mean, this is all playing out in real time today.
Yeah.
And
it's all anyone can talk about in the newsroom. It's just been buzzing, and online as well.
It is absolutely not surprising because they're both loudmouths on Twitter.
They are. You were saying they're both yin and yin when they need to be yin and yang.
Yes,
Really good
yes.
one.
So if you're going to be working or dealing with President Trump, it can't be a yin and yin situation.
No, not at all. I think we've learned that.
I think that there's a lot of egos in this friendship here. And I think that there's maybe Elon Musk kind of got a taste of this political power.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I just think that the fallout, I mean, I didn't expect it to be this crazy, but when you're going to bat against someone who owns Twitter, I don't think that's a great idea.
I mean, I'm keeping tabs on it. I have Elon's Twitter pulled up right now, and I just keep refreshing. He's retweeting things and saying things. It's drama. So we will keep you posted. Faith, you did a great job being serious about this very serious yet unserious manner.
Thank you so much.
I mean, like, come on.
I know.
Like, come on, guys. Thank
Crazy.
you.
No problem.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission, they crunched those numbers and they found that debt collection calls have jumped actually 150% over last year. And Houstonians received a lot of those calls, the fourth highest city among those major cities with those debt collection calls coming in. The average debt owed in Texas right now is $58,000. Consumer reporter Heather Sullivan has some smart sense on how you can handle that debt.
If you receive a call from a debt collector, it's really important that you handle that call properly. So we got some tips from nonprofit credit counselor Money Management International.
In general, it's really important to make sure that the debt is legitimate, make sure you're not getting scammed, make sure you ask for proof that you actually owe the debt. Check how long the debt has been outstanding. It's possible that you could be past the statute of limitations on the debt, in which case, you are no longer legally responsible for it.
Well, what's the red flag if it's been too long?
So in Texas, it's 4 years. It's a statute of limitations. So if it's older than that, you really need to be extra careful because there are things you can do that can reset the statute. In other words, if you make a promise to pay, for example, that can actually restart the clock.
What do you say so that you're not triggering anything? Like, how do you handle that call so that you're not caught off guard?
Yeah, basically, you really want to start the conversation with, what is this about? Don't give any information, but make sure you're asking for information. And then say, you ask for proof of the debt. Tell them you want to validate the debt is actually yours, and ask them that they send you information in the mail around what type of debt this is, what was it, and proof that you actually owe it.
What would be your advice to someone to try and start dealing with it, managing it, some of their options?
For unsecured debt, if it's an older debt, they're usually willing to settle on that. So it's often a good idea to save up money over time and then offer them a settlement, say half of however much you owed. For other types of debt, say medical debt, for example, you may want to check and see if you're eligible for charity care. Even if the debt has been sent to a collection agency, sometimes they can retroactively apply that and pull it out of collections.
And you can go to the National Foundation for Credit Counseling to find a reputable credit counselor that can help you deal with debt collections. Heather Sullivan, Fox News.
All right, some good info there. Well, there is something that you might never have heard of before. Maybe you didn't even know it existed. And of course, our Randy Wallace is telling us all about it. It's hospice care for your pet. Take a look.
Why is hospice a good idea for pet parents?
It really is all about increasing their comfort. So doing symptom management with medications, as well as pain management, and then modifying their environment to make sure that we are being as gentle on their bodies as we can, trying to make one day better, and so that builds on the next day that's going to be good. And when we can do that, pets can really live longer, better lives because they don't have the same thought about mortality like we do. They don't know that they have cancer or organ failure. They just know how their body feels. And so that is one of the things that we try to focus on.
So kind of the main point is making the pet as comfortable as possible, but then also you're helping the pet parent make the most difficult decision that they'll ever make.
Absolutely. It's about the care unit, which is the pet plus the pet's family.
The euthanasia at home, there's benefits to that, you believe?
I really do believe so. There is the fact that the pet is in their own home, they're more comfortable. People are more comfortable in their own home environment and they feel like they can grieve more openly. Also, it's very beneficial for the other pets in the house because they can understand that this pet has died.
And it's good too that you're going to their home because some pets, they get older, they have mobility issues, and you can't put them in the car. You can't take them to the vet.
Absolutely. So decreasing the fear and anxiety and stress that they can have towards the end of their life and when they're ill by going to their home and meeting them where they are is totally immeasurable in my opinion.
What's it do for you to do this kind of work?
It's incredibly rewarding. I do feel like I have found my calling, and a lot of us that do this kind of work do feel like that.
I think people that do hospice for people, they're called to that. I mean, they're extraordinary people to be able to do that. And like you said, you're kind of called to do this sort of thing.
Absolutely. I cannot imagine doing anything else at this point. And I think I've found what I have the talent and the skill to be able to do, and I want to be able to provide that as much as I can.
How can people find out more about it?
Pethospice.com is the best way.
All right, now let's switch gears here. Let's check in with Coco Dominguez at a new restaurant hotspot in tonight's Bayou City Buzz.
It's a Latin-focused cocktail bar. You know, Houston loves to eat and drink. Well, we're here in the River Oaks district at Botánica Houston. What a sexy place this is. I mean, from just walking in. Alexis, you did it again. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Tell me about the theme here.
Yeah, so Botánica is a place that celebrates Latin excellence. Everything from spirits, food, culture, wine. Everything we do here is through a Latin lens, and we want to make sure that people can experience cocktail culture through that lens. So we have delicious beverages, delicious food.
Are those empanadas?
Those are empanadas.
Que rico.
Que rico, sí. We have so many beautiful options. We want to be a place where you can get a beautiful drink, but also a beautiful bite, you know?
Yeah, you wouldn't normally think Latin food because this isn't like, you know, your typical authentic style.
Yeah, well, you know, we wanted to go a little bit more pan-Latin and show Latin excellence across all borders, so everything from Mexico, Central, South, and Caribbean. So we take inspiration from a little bit of everywhere, and our spirits menu focuses the same way.
All right, tell me about the drinks. Let's talk drinks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we have our disco sour. This is a pisco sour variation with some poblano, a little bit of Midori.
Wow, poblano.
Poblano, yeah, just
Okay.
a little touch of spice. We have our desert dove, which is kind of like guava paloma meets Moscow mule.
I love guava.
For the girlies, for sure. And then for our non-alcoholic drinkers, we have a menu as well. So this is our mentirosa. It's got a watermelon shrub.
It means liar, for las tóxicas.
And a liar in the sense that you'll think you're drinking alcohol, but you're not. So it's a
Okay.
non-alcoholic
I love
tequila.
that.
We're not calling you a liar yet.
Okay, that looks delicious. Another great place to check out in the Bayou City. Thanks so much for watching Houston Live and Local. I'm Caroline Collins. Make sure to stay tuned for the news at 9 and the news feed with me at 10.
Hey everybody, welcome to Scrolling with Jen and V. Y'all are here, we're here. Y'all right on time. We love that, right, V? We love
Always
that.
on
Okay?
time. We do love it,
Be
Jen.
on time. That's what we do. 7 o'clock. Y'all know what it is. Fox Soul. We right here, baby. Scrolling and talking and telling.
We out here.
Hey,
We out here, y'all.
Okay. So what do we have, Vita? Oh, let's cheers. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Nice tropical.
Let's cheers.
Mango lemonade.
Yes,
It's delicious
nice.
too, y'all.
Yeah, producer got this together for us. And
yes.
It's delicious.
Being a mixologist up in here, we like it. We love it.
Cheers to that.
Right.
Okay, so what do we have, V? Starting off our first segment.
Yes.
The comment section. Hey.
We love it, y'all. When y'all post y'all comments, they be so fiery and
juicy.
Juicy, yes, Jen.
They
They are
better
wild.
than the post.
Okay.
They
all
be better
the
than the
time.
post sometimes.
I swear. Every time. Jen, what you gonna start us off with the comment section?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on ready. I'm on ready. I'm on ready.
Like the club.
Right.
Okay. Oh, you know they cheating.
Ooh.
They say there, and I say, you know they cheating. Okay, IG user Brother to the Night. Okay, posted this. What y'all out here doing cheating? Really, the comment section gonna be lit on this. Come on, messy. Let's see it, producer.
I know a motherfucker cheating when I see it. Goddamn it, these motherfuckers here. You can tell they cheating. You can tell they cheating like a motherfucker. I know 2 motherfuckers when I see a cheating like a motherfucker. That cheating. Even to go on their wife's name like hell. Look at her.
So kiss her face off. I'm just saying. Look at
Man,
this.
oh, baby.
Suck her freaking face. Complete comments.
I'm finna say comments. What y'all saying about this suck off, this face off? Okay.
Dang. Like a vacuum cleaner.
Rims_of_nowhere. They're definitely married, just not to each other.
Not to each other. Okay, we said something.
I don't
right
believe
there.
so either.
So they
I don't
definitely
believe so,
cheating. Okay. Is he eating? That's the same thing
That's what
I
you said,
said.
like a vacuum cleaner.
79. Is he eating her face off? Look like a freaking vacuum cleaner.
Oh, baby, he is tearing that face up.
Tearing it up.
I am Blux. Not you posted the evidence, right?
Oh,
Brother to the night. They calling you out.
Posting evidence, okay? First class Johnny said that brother's starving.
Yes,
okay, because he is chowing.
He eating, honey.
He eating, okay?
He eating, baby. Ooh,
okay,
baby, sucking
she
that
cooking
face.
and he eating.
Right.
Let her cook.
Because they going in on each other. I mean, that kind of passion, Jen. Y'all coding. Y'all coding. Y'all glad y'all seeing each other in person.
Do you think they cheating?
I think they're cheating. I think they're both married or in a committed relationship.
You agree with Brother to the Night?
I agree with Brother to the Night. That brother is telling the truth.
Okay, that's juicy. I would have videoed that too. Yeah, I was like, damn, look at that getting it in over there. Okay,
right.
That's some. People watching is the best.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That is some juicy stuff
that was
right
juicy,
there.
Jen. That was a good one.
V, what you got for us, baby?
So I got a hubby who bought his wife a car for her B-Day, but homegirl still ain't happy.
What?
Shout out to IG user at Coco Butler _ for this video. Coco,
hubby, send that car to me.
Show us somebody who not being appreciative of a car.
Really,
like,
though.
what? And still not happy?
Because I wanted a car for my birthday, and I wanted it as a push gift too. Since this is me pushing out baby number 5, I wanted something that could fit me and all the kids. And this is where you drink got us.
I don't want it. Don't send it. I changed my mind.
This old ass limo.
Ooh, commenters, I know y'all got something to say about this because I do too.
That
all right.
is insane.
I'm telling you what y'all got to say about this car that her man got her when she got 5 children
That is
to haul.
insane, V.
Go on, Jean.
Okay, Bambi.Lane.9 said, the way I just hollered, he wants his family looking like they going to a funeral every day.
For
and
real.
Guess what, Bambi.Lane.9? I wouldn't be caught dead in that.
Good with
How about that? V?
All right. What's this? Chanel 2102 says, I went from shock to crying to thinking, you know what? He might be on to something. I bet you he ain't got no note. And then somebody replied, and then Coco herself, the one who posted this, said, and no notes, LOL.
And no note. Oh, and no note.
So he bought that really for him.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have no.
Be coming off no money on no new ride.
I'm telling you, that's old school.
All us can fit in this.
That's old school, sir. Please.
Ooh, be more Daviano. Them kids going to have a ball in the back of that car. I'm just saying, like, I used to like big vans and stuff as a kid. I mean,
a van, but that's a darn car, a limousine.
I might have fun in the back of that too as a child, not knowing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, kids don't know. Yeah.
Go
Man, Miss _
what they saying?
Got your goozing says fight him soon as you had that baby. Girl, fight his behind.
So she said she about to have baby number 5.
Yeah, baby number 5.
Okay.
Like, why you got me this kind of ride for baby number 5? We got to haul around these children.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, a basketball team will fit in there.
They will. Because it got the 3, the 3 doors or whatever.
And it's got the 2 back seats.
No, sir.
And the kids can face each other and play. You know, like,
right,
play in the back.
School.
They're going to have fun in that back seat, just like the comment said.
Sir,
they gonna have. I used to have a ball in the back of my uncle van, and it was an old van, with the 2
fun,
doors.
The van, right? It's just fun because you're in a big old space. But the car is like, I know it's long, but nah, bro.
Okay, now this is my kicker right here. Okay, How to sneak a bottle in the club? Now,
that's all Jen right there.
That's me.
That's all Jen, baby.
Okay, so I gotta give a shout out already to IG user J Swift _. Let's see what you doing though. I know my version.
You know your way.
I know my version. V. Let's see, producer. Let's see what's going on.
Girl, what the?
I am shooketh. Look at me. I'm shooketh. Like, Jen,
oh my God! Comment V.
What y'all got to say? Cause
V,
baby,
comments.
Ooh. _sharks _. Not the Hennessy.
Not the Hennessy.
Because it coming out her kitty cat.
Okay. Official Jago the Great 9 says, bro, how the hell did that fit in there?
Baby, she got that thing. Ooh. And babies can come out of there so they can fit in there.
V, it's like,
right.
Did you hear the sound?
I heard it. The sound effects and everything.
I just wanted to see if you heard it.
Tony Woods.biz says, oh, hell no. She just gave birth to Henny. That's what I'm saying.
That.
Babies come out of there so yeah, it fit.
Look, nah, she might have been on her 5th kid.
Before
she popped that Henny bottle up in there. Come on.
That thing open, huh, G?
Let's
that
reverse.
Thing open.
Let's reverse, okay? JMart2571 said, it's a girl behind her. Gave her the bottle from behind. That's what I believe, okay?
Y'all think so? Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
I don't know, but I heard the sound.
Okay, I did hear the sound of audio effects. Plot twist. Oh, that was hilarious. That's crazy. Anything to not buy that expensive alcohol.
No, girl.
You sneak it
like
in.
$300, $400 for a bottle.
Pricey.
And that don't include a lot of stuff. One bottle.
Right, that one bottle.
And if
that's all
you got
you get.
15 people in your section,
exactly,
that bottle gone.
Girl's gone with a quickness.
That bottle
the third person
gone.
Is gone.
$300. I need everybody to Zelle me.
Okay. This is how much per piece. This is how much I need to sell me.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I find a way too.
Okay.
I find a way too. Good. Kudos to you.
All right. I'm telling you,
to you,
smart.
girl.
All right. So I got a little something for the comment section.
What you got? What you got?
Sorry. I say sorry.
Uh-huh.
Polygamy is only for rich men.
Shout
out to IG user at Strega told you for this video. Polygamy only for rich men, Jen?
Rich men? What is this saying?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but polygamy is a rich man's sport.
You
don't even have enough money for one and you want two? Talking about, oh, I want multiple wives. What? With what money? You don't even have a house. Where you gonna put us? What are you talking about?
Right.
I know a motherfucker that literally don't even have enough money to get his license back and rides a scooter. He rides a scooter around Brooklyn. But you want multiple bitches? How we all fitting on this scooter? That's what I want to know. Because it's always the broke ones. Like, bro, that multiple wives is for millionaires. Y'all motherfuckers that don't pay no bills and you don't reciprocate and you don't know how to be a husband. Y'all couldn't even get a threesome out of me. Y'all couldn't even get a home cooked meal out of me. You getting noodles.
Say that.
What the is the matter with y'all?
Ooh.
Comments says what y'all saying about what she's saying. Strega told you. Jen.
_Toya_ where you go put us is wild in that limo from the first video.
And she replied, Jen.
When she replied, V, what she said?
Trying to pack us out on the scooter.
Well, how we gonna do that?
Right.
The scooter. V.
Oh, Vicky, Oreo 7. They want multiple wives so those wives can pay for them. And then the girl who posted
pop out the money for the bills.
Literally, LMAO.
Yeah,
Laughing my
I
ass
agree.
off. Right.
I agree. Look at these. Look at this message.
There you go, Jen.
A message. Okay. What is this? Idol Laziza?
Idol, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good meme for that.
That message, that's crazy. Whitney Sarah says it's always the broke ones. Like Lotto says, brokey.
Yeah.
You know, I talk a lot of ish.
Hey,
you
they
know?
can't go out. The only time they can go out is for their birthday.
Exactly. So Lotto, you was on to something on there. But
Brokies.
listen, Scratter told you. You
That
sure
shit, it
told
was
it
real.
right.
Yeah, she did.
You gotta have the
V.
coins if you want multiple women.
She said, y'all broke?
Right.
How we gonna fit on the back of that scooter. Okay, I agree.
Right.
Totally. That's for rich men. Y'all poor people out here,
Be doing the most.
I want to say it, but I ain't. Okay, all y'all poor dudes out here, y'all go get a life. Go get some money for one.
And speaking
okay?
of money, we gotta pay them bills, y'all. We gotta go to commercial break. When we come back, we got some relationship status for y'all behinds. So keep it locked right here on Scrolling with Jen and V, baby.
Hey, welcome back to Scrolling with Jen and V. Right here is the place to be because we scrolling, we rolling, we doing all that. Everybody get your scroll on.
Hey,
that's what we doing right
yay.
here. Okay, so what we have for this segment, V, what is this? We love it. We're nosy and we're messy about it.
That's
okay?
right.
What is it?
Relationship
status. What y'all doing out there? Is it complicated? What you say? Situation?
Are y'all booed up? Is it, are you married? What is it?
Are you sucking somebody's face off in the parking lot, people? Or, y'all cheating for real? Are y'all out there doing that?
Y'all in a situationship for sure.
Okay, I love a good kisser, but I mean, God, me, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start us off with relationship status, y'all. I just want to know something. How did you break your TV remote?
Ooh.
Okay, producer. This is the IG follower that's culturally. Okay, shout out to them for posting this. Let's see.
How in the we do this?